talk about what we're seeing on this Lotus, because the fact that we're getting Lotus is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this plays out, at least for Bestia, because switching up their comp, they haven't played this Lotus in a long time. I'm sure they've seen how C9 played it at this point, but just really interesting to see what they go forward with here. But 4 towards the same main, just trying to stay together for this pistol so far. I think this makes a lot of sense for Bestia.
Yeah, and you can see them creeping up a little bit over here on the Rebel side. Starting to get some activity here. Just see if they can find some pot shots being sent out. But Lost actually getting past that wall might actually help a little bit with the timing here. You start to see those rotations start to come in here.
Yeah, really quick rotations. That Vice wall is going to be baited out. But Bestia, they're all stuck with no secondary option to go to.
This is it. It's all or nothing. Lost wants to make his way in. He hasn't found a target yet to be able to catch on to. You got 4 players stacked up top here. Lost is going to go in for the peek. He knows that there could be someone up here, but he's not quite sure the number. Finds one. That's Fireball Ops. He's going to be handled. Now looking for another one, but he's going to just wait this one out. Let's see what the post plant's like for Bestia, as they're just going to play their angles.
Yeah, I really like that they've taken that Heaven control, because all 4 players from C9 are here.
That's a nasty shot from Lost. Exactly what you want to see to start things off here. The Fury Academy lone. It's been absolutely unreal for these players here. Gets himself a third, gets himself a fourth. Wait a minute, is he going to start off with an ace here to kick things off? No, Tribuzine's there for the pickup, but it doesn't matter. 4 kills locked in for Bestia. 4 kills locked in. Huge way to start things off here for Lost.
I mean, if this is going to be any choice or any kind of further inspection on how we're going to see how Yoru's played this map, it's going to be really interesting. I thought this would just be a little bit of a pick to bait the Vice wall really easily with that clone. They also have a lot of things that they could use with that util. But man, it looks like we're just going forward, fighting, Lost, going aggressive in the post.
Here's the thing though, right? This Bestia team, if you let them get aggressive, if you let them have that opportunity to play their game, funny enough, I know Mimi joked about it, but it is true. Like, they like to play this very aggressive, contact-heavy style that really works for them because they have great aimers on their team, but they can do the strategies when they need to. Now, David, he's going to wisely back away here. He got the info that he needed. He sees this push starting to come in, and you know that if you are C9, you're going to need to make a play here. Oxy, unfortunately for him, is going to get stopped right at the front door there. Maybe a couple other players trying to get inside, but nope. Dinner ain't happening today. You're just going to have to watch from the outside, and that's going to be a couple players down. One left alive. It's Zelsis. It's going to be really difficult for him to stand up against 4 players with only a classic.
Yeah, it's really nice to see Bestia, though, having those really nice reactions and protocols, farming that orb, turning around and fighting together. Now 4v1 on this site.
What's he going to do? I was happy for him for a minute there, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he would have done it? It would have been the greatest play pulled over by a 30-year-old. Unreal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait,
why are you talking?
He's 29. I don't know yet. But then again, though, he's not Baby Bay.
He is not Baby Bay. That's true. Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I think the way that Bestia is playing right now, granted, yes, it is the first couple rounds. This is how I expected to see them play in that first match. Love the hype, too.
Yeah, and they have to. They have to keep themselves energized in this, because if C9 get going at any point in time, it is going to be very, very difficult to stop that train. So you know that Bestia are going to have to put their best foot forward here. First gun round opportunity now for C9. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, set up that Yoru clone towards B. Actually TPing into sight as Lost. They baited the wall.
Couple big picks. It's actually going to even, or rather, give the advantage to C9. And you can see here the guns that they have to get into this site with. It's going to be really difficult to do so. So you're really hoping to just get some kind of like a miracle pick, if that was even an option.
Look at all this map control, though, that Zelsis just got by himself. Contact play up to B. They know that now they're sandwiched towards that A site. Vice full setup on C. They're not worried about it at all.
Great opportunity for C9 to pick up a critical round. This is the round that they would need to pick up. Of course, don't want to give up too much sound here. Maybe you go for that orb, but you don't really need to at this point. The name of the game is to just go and get that spike down. And here comes the push now. Attempt starting to come in, but it's going to get stalled out just for a second there. Now here comes this next one. But the nade tossed all the way to the back, forcing Oxy to have to move up and receive those players at the choke a little bit earlier. But it's going to slow things down again, and Bestia's just trying to play the field here.
Yeah, really good delay util from Oxy there, trying to go aggressive from Bestia, trying to get any numbers control here. But it looks like they weren't able to.
Ooh, good satchel cross there. That was an attempt. Could have worked out for them there, but instead, David wasn't there for the pickup immediately. Melzer there instead gets his 2. You only got a couple seconds left to work with now. Celsius and Fireball left alive. That's going to be a problem. Let's see what the birthday boy could do here as Melzer's getting tagged up. The IGL Celsius managed to get the better of that one there, bring him down to just 9 HP. He's tucked all the way inside of this drop, and that ain't going to really work out for him there. He kind of saw the writing on the wall. Well played by the IGL as he picks up that big round that they needed to get and pulled a lot for it.
Yeah, I think Bestia, though, still doing a good job at getting some tag on that economy. 3 weapons down for the side of C9. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. Nothing crazy. They can still get those rifles, but it's going to be annoying to play against. So I think this is good.
Yeah, me too.
That's also me when I play Valorant, just in general.
Yeah, no, that's me when I wake up in the morning. I do that pretty much all the time. So excited. Great.
Yeah, first gun round on the table, though. Lost actually picking up that operator already. Looks like they're going to go for some A main control here, trying to get some sort of pick on the line.
A little bit of a different look than what we've been seeing previously. C9's been liking to push down mid, and you know they haven't really had much of an opportunity to really get into this game. So this is going to be now both teams equal strength. Let's see who's able to get the better here. Celsius knows he just needs to hold this line. There's no real reason for him to just get aggressive. He's got the help from Oxy there too. Checking around the corner, so they know exactly where he's going to be located, but do they opt to handle this one here? No, instead they're going to trigger that wall, and they're just doing the things that they need to do. They're just taking care of all of that utility around the map.
It's a really good default. The only thing is that they don't have any of that A main control, but baiting that Vice wall, setting up towards C, lots of pressure towards there as well. They have these 2 options from long C, from that main at B. They're able to use that door as much as they please. But the problem is 4 players from C9, 2 on B, 2 on C. They're ready for this because they got all of that A main control.
Okay, so I just saw a Prowler go out from Jack that actually scouted out mid, and then that kind of prompted a little bit of movement, but that's going to push some of these players a little closer here. Feels like A is going to be where we finish. Fireball, though, waiting for this one. Aggression starting to come in. Takulia is able to get that first kill with the grenades, but a couple more starting to fly in here. Oxy now knowing he's going to go up against the full might of this team. Meanwhile, on the lurk, you got Vic. He's got to move fast. He gets that kill on David. Now prompts into this 2v2. Chubizine gets the better of Oxy. It's all up to Vic, the stalwart player of this team. All reliable. Let's see what he could do here. He's got himself a paranoia. He also has a TP to work with, but he's got to play this one out intelligently. It goes through the paranoia, and they see exactly where that originated from. Handle business, and that's Bestia back on the board 3-1. Athena. Ruh-roh. C9, they're actually gonna be broke coming into this round. But this execute was really nice. You see that C's nade combo on elbow just to push any of that zoning spots out. The Yoru TP into sight. Melzer picking up the op and TPing up onto the boxes as well. Bestia, they're just so good with this Yoru. You can tell they really went down into the playbook, made sure their executes didn't have any loopholes into them. And now going into this map, going into this round, like I mentioned before, C9, they're going to be on a little bit of a struggle by. Yeah, okay. Now, of course, we'll see whether or not this is going to be Bestia's 4th round added here. But look at this aggression from Cloud9. They only have 1 gun to work with. That gun's going to be on Fireball Ops. So expect for him to be that last line to make his way in as this chaos is going to begin to unfold here. There goes the stun. There goes a double shot. He's actually going to get the collat out of that one. Melzer and Taco are good with their Guardians, and that was a good try, good attempt, but you had to do something.
Yeah, really nice from Bestia as well. Just to stay so disciplined. They're not overly aggressing at the wrong timings. It feels like they're very well cohesive plays together. Just sitting there holding a main. They know that C9 is going to do something. And they're just ready for it.
Yeah, this is one of those maps that I was actually listening to the recent episode of the C9 podcast, and Celsius was actually talking about Lotus and how this was a map that they're continuing to work on, they're continuing to refine.
Yeah.
So to hear him talk about that, and then to see it get picked into them, I think, gave Bestia that pathway to victory, because you look at the rest of the series, you got Breeze.
Yeah.
You got Split. Like, oh boy, that's bad.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if you want to deal with that.
The thing about Celsius, too, is he's really good at calling a lot of those rotations. Oh my god, actually almost punishing Lost with the operator. He's really good at calling those rotations. On a map like Lotus, it feels like that's probably where he's going to shine. somehow almost kills 2 players from Bestia with that Ghost. But it's something that he's really good at. Calling a lot of the micro plays, making sure the rotations are there, getting the information himself to relay to the rest of his team. So I really think on a map like Lotus, that defense is so important. And I'm really hoping that they can pull something to bring it back. Maybe attack pause if I were the coach, just to make sure we know what's going wrong, because it seems like we're getting a lot of the information, just not playing off it.
Yeah, I agree with that, Oxy. I mean, you start the round off with a collat, so, And you're right, it would be nice to see that timeout get called, but instead they're going to let them figure it out.
GB, look at these ults, though. 4 ults on the side of Bestia. That Viper's Pit going to go down for Zelsis. And these 5 players are grouped up towards Long C. Feels like they know that this is going to happen, trying to get some sort of control, but might cancel once they see that Viper Pit is down.
Yeah. Okay, so Dimensional Drift now. For the Yoru, loss. He's going to be in the back. Taco. And wait a minute, actually. Ends up getting picked by Fireball inside of the pit. And that is going to stop that plan right in its tracks. Your duelists are dead. But you have one more opportunity here with David, potentially. And I don't think that scouted him out. So might actually be able to get a big kill here, but no. Instead, it's Fireball. Fireball locks in his first, I believe, for the game. Or it's his second, as a matter of fact. But wait a minute. Just as I say that, David's there for the response. 2v2. Nightfall activated. It's going to have to prompt these players that have to go back. Bestia's David waiting in the back wings here. Getting that cover. They don't have to worry too much about the middle. Where does Oxy and Jack opt to do? They haven't gotten that spike down yet, but they still have some time to work with here, Athena.
Both C9 players trying to retake from that spawn, switching that op over to Jack so Oxy can go in. If he gets one, he's able to get that ult online as well.
All
right, Neural Theft activated. That's going to have to prompt Oxy here in this big fight. David able to get one. Oxy gets his first. He's going to activate the ult. He's going to hit him with the fingers, and he does. That's a big round that C9 desperately needed. Pulled off all the stops. Let's not forget, while Bestia had 4 ults, you had C9 with 3. One way or another, someone was going to have to use one of those big abilities to figure this out.
I mean, Bestia using 4 of those ults that round, and they still lost it. It's going to be crazy expensive. I mean, they used 2 of those ults immediately. The Yoru ult to try to get that information, and that Raze showstopper, but just missing because of that Viper's Pit getting him so low. This was a crazy round, though. David almost bringing this back. Zelsis peeking out of that pit and giving him that 3rd kill was the real momentum turner for the round.
Yeah, you can see how this C9 team is just keeping themselves in the game. We're excited. Like, they're just constantly cheering. It's about keeping the spirits high, especially when you're down 4-2 like this to start things off.
Yeah, C9 actually changing their defensive setup now, using Oxy to get that long line towards C. And look at the rotations, 1-3-1 already for C9 because of all that pressure.
Zelsis is weighing this one out. Contact might be made by Fireball, but Loss is waiting for you to get around the corner. He's saying, please give this to me. Be the easiest kill of my life if I could get this. But Fireball's wise to it. He ain't going to give it to him. Meanwhile, business now happening over toward this A side of the map. Vic is going to have a lot to handle here. A lot of responsibility on his hands, but he can get out of dodge. He does have the Omen ult to be able to do so. A couple more players starting to come through here. There goes the TP. He's out of there.
Yeah, full A lobby control now for Bestia, but it's going to pull those rotates from C9. 3 players, again, still on that B site, but able to go towards that link, able to be really quick rotates here. They have that full line on C. And now, Bestia, their best bet for this map is that Fatal. They're splitting into this B.
Ooh, I like this. He was actually giving you the idea that they wanted to go to A, but instead it's going to go right into the loving hands of Fireball, Ops, and Zelsis. Zelsis gets himself 3. That's the 3rd one for C9, desperately needed. I like the idea that Bestia were trying to cook up there, but it really was just a matter of C9 giving them nothing to work with.
Yeah, they did a good job. They baited that price wall at the beginning of the round. Bestia putting pressure towards C with the Omen smoke, going back towards A main to take that pressure off again. But they were not prepared for that 1-3-1 C9 had set up. They had really good discipline to just sit there and make sure they're not over-rotating. And now going into this round, we're going to see Bestia on a little bit of a weird buy. 3 sheriffs across the board. They're going to try to go for picks towards the same main here.
Need to make something happen. Pull a rabbit out of the hat. If you are Bestia, so far it has been good for the team. The Chilenos managed to really pick up a couple major rounds, but question is whether or not this C9 team can continue the discipline that they showed in that last round, and so far it looks good. They're not giving this team an inch. They're not overextending, and if anything, they're just taking those opportunities where they see fit. Oxy has the wherewithal to push his way forward over here on the C side of the map. It opens up that lane. That's going to be 2 players down. Makes it so much challenging for Bestia.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to just continue trying to get those numbers, try to go for those picks, but it's a little bit hard. Sneaking into to Link, though, Melzer, he's so close, but 2 players high-low ready to get that pick.
Yeah, and you can also see that they were anticipating maybe some pressure coming. Pressure coming from mid and that mid choke, but no, instead it's going to be Melzer pushing way forward. Just forces the issue onto Jack. Fireball Ops wise enough back away from this one. Zellsis, though, tried to go in for a big fight. They know they still have to worry about Fireball Ops, so he's got to get that angle. Meanwhile, Vic is good for his kill, and that's going to be Fireball finally finding that target onto Taco. We're all knotted up 4-4.
Yeah, Fireball with a really nice crossfire with Vic there, pushing through that B doors. But for Bestia, man, this is looking a little bit rough. They've lost so many of those ults that they were saving up for. Managing to go, no way, is this the pick that he got? Ooh.
Dang.
The spam through the smoke. I think C9, they've just been doing such a good job at making sure they're not overextending with the setups, able to get a lot of that information. And usually when I see a team playing back on Lotus, I start to, it looks really well. But going into this next round now, GB, this is looking a little bit rough because they're baiting the Vice Wall from Bestia. Their defaults are actually pretty good. They're putting pressure all across the map, but C9's always just one step ahead. They need to find a way to punish that Oxy op.
Yeah, and right now it's going to be hanging out over toward mid, so really looking to get much going over there, but instead the game plan was just go get that orb and then see what else you can grab. And wait a minute, Oxy just was a little too overzealous there and ends up giving up that op in the critical moment. Could actually work out very well here for Chubizine if they try and go for more.
Yeah, that's a really big pick from Bestia. They shut down one of the winning conditions for C9's information across the map. And now that Prowler are going to get some sort of information, and slowing down is the right action here. C9, they tend to react when they're down numbers, try to get some sort of map control back, but they're just holding back for now.
Yep, and they're trying to see where that wall is too, because typically they've been placing the Vice wall over toward B side in that B choke, right where they are positioned. But right now you can see it's actually over toward the A site. So they've been moving that around a fair amount.
Ooh.
They're not going to worry about too much of this utility here. They just want to get their way inside of this site, get that spike down, but it's going to be a lot more challenging to do so when the spike is not available to you. Wait a minute. Get that Vice ult activated. It's going to force all these players to have to just get out of dodge. A site is available and open, and yeah, they're going to be running into some Vice utility there, but they're okay.
That's a really nice pivot from Bestia, using that pressure on C, getting out onto B, and falling back into A. Really well done, but this post plant's going to be important because the Zellsis, he's all the way out from that baby door.
I don't think that they're anticipating Tacolia here on the flank. I don't see any of those arrows there, and that's going to be really problematic for them to have to work with. You got one player who's trying to get eyes on it, but meanwhile, Vic gets one on site. Melzer's going to just answer back in turn. It's going to put Melzer in a rough spot, but Tacolia and Melzer work in tandem together, able to take out Zellsis and Fireball Ops, and after losing a couple of big rounds back to back to back, they get their 5th.
Dude, Bestia, that initial pick on Oxy was the game changer for them, for their momentum. That default basically worked out perfectly. This pick right here, denying that offline from Oxy, but also killing one of C9's most important players when it comes to those retakes. And then the post plants. They're so good. They're so disciplined from Bestia, and I feel like we're seeing a new sight coming out from them. The defaults are so good. The info's good.
You can see Veer was contemplating doing a little bit of a
timeout
there, but didn't go for it. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into a Bestia listen and see how they execute.
Sí, Diamond.
Lo metemos nuevo.
Phage por acá.
Voy.
El hombre está en la puerta.
Espera. 1, 2, 3, va.
Tomen haciendo strafe, tomen haciendo strafe.
Ahí estamos en la puerta del B.
Te abro puerta C.
Y la neon son.
Sí, hagámoslo.
Ven, pasemos acá nosotros.
Dos acá conmigo. Phage, neon.
Otro Malix. Buena, papi.
Los tres de la.
No, sí.
No. Sí. Falta la Viper.
Listo, nadie.
Agarro la spike. Estoy llegando.
Voy a jugar a la mía,
Llega
cabrón. Voy a
rápido.
juntarme con
Denle audio a Chuy para que amase.
Plante abierto.
Uno B corriendo.
Voy a juntarme con
Estoy llegando,
eso hace.
Chuy, aún tenés Chuy, perro, y después...
No, tengo un flash para usted,
Voy a
man.
gaitear, voy a gaitear.
Audio, porfa.
Lo
Este es mío.
Lo segura coste, llega a tiempo.
Call it, Francis.
Yeah, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Blinded back. Blind. I'm gonna
Also-
one away. Keep it back.
Side, fuck.
Save it.
Yeah, save it.
When were there?
They just walk up B that round.
Omen +1.
Yeah, just yeah, plus one.
That's it. All good, boys. All good. I should have killed this guy safe.
Now, much to the chagrin of Dan Triad, I will not be able to translate what was being said from the Bestia side of things, but there was a lot of confidence there in that push. But man, C9.
It was really nice from Bestia to be able to, after getting that pick, speed up into B, get another 2 picks, and then fall back into that C site. They're just playing the map so beautifully here. A lot of those zones are being taken by them, pushing and pulling and pressuring.
And there it goes.
Yep, there goes the timeout. And I think they're just doing such a good job at pulling
Well, this is Melzer's kindergarten.
It is his kindergarten, and he
It's his
is
class.
10 and 7 right now. So he's definitely showing
School's
up
in
the way.
session. All right? My guy's going to put you in social studies, and you're going to like it.
The op online now, once again, for loss. That Viper's Pit from Zelsis going down towards C, but they're actually trying to play a trap setup in that C long towards Mound. But all of Bestia here is grouped towards this A, just trying to pressure enough and find that Vice wall once again.
You talk about Melzer and his IGLing and what he's been doing, and this, of course, isn't going to be totally unfamiliar with him. Familiar with Tier 1 foes, having played for Lev and crew back in 2021 to 2025. A long career for him. So you're really looking for him to make some smart, really informed decisions here. But Zelsis has to be the better of him for these next 2 rounds.
Really nice proactivity there from C, actually. 2 of their players pushed up, peeked past that Viper's Pit, and saw absolutely nothing. And so the C9 rotations are ready because they're all 3 on this A site.
Question is whether or not they're going to commit, and it seems like they are. Made their way right inside a tree. And that's going to give a lot of intel. That just might be the go button there. As Jack's going to be tucked away in the corner, anticipating some activity, but when you think that that button is going to get hit, nope, instead, they're going to wait this one out. They only got 25 seconds. They have no other progress on the rest of the map. They have a Viper's Pit on C they got to deal with. They're going to pivot over to C. They're going to run right into Vic. They got to go right now.
The fake tap to pull away rotations, but it doesn't work.
2 kills coming in. Jack now looking for one to be able to just even things out. Got to get that spike down, but the spike's going to be in Carajo land. One day you got to go ahead and grab that thing. Finally, they're able to do so. Can they get this one down? Yes, they are. I think they have enough time, just barely. Oh. Yes, they do. I mean, it was basically a mouse fart away from ending the round there. But Zelsis, he knows exactly what he's up against, and it is a tall task that's being asked of him.
I mean, it's crazy that Bestia is still able to execute with 3 players from C9 on site and that util.
Wait a minute, are they playing with their food? Don't play with your food, you gotta be careful here. Zelsis is not one to trifle with. But of course, time is starting to tick down a little bit more, and they're just moving them around the map. They were a little bit playing with their food.
Yeah, I think that was, like I was saying, Bestia did a good job considering that all the pieces for C9 were down. That Viper's Pit at the beginning, they were able to push through and get a lot of information from C9 side. But then Bestia, all 4 grouped in this tree position, tapping that door one more time just to pull away some pressure. And then getting the spike down with like 0.3 seconds left is crazy.
I will find you.
And I don't blame Zelsis in that situation for like running away because you look at the time, you're like, I think it's cooked. But no.
Yeah, now if you're C9, you're a little bit scared because 3 ults online here for Bestia. They have that Yoru ult, they have the Nightfall and the Showstopper. These are really strong execute ults.
Too much for them to work with. Dimensional Drift is going to get activated here. All this information is going to be given to them now. Here comes the rocket. Time to make things go boom. But is there a target available? No, everyone's going to get out of dodge because they do not want to deal with that rocket. They want to do this 5-man retake clean as possible. Now look over on the flank side toward A side. You got to be mindful of Oxy and Neon. Jack actually gets 2. And that's Zelsis with a follow-up for the 3rd. It's going to make it into a 4v2. Loss and David, and Loss has been exquisite this half. But is it going to be enough to be able to pull this round off? They got to get that spike out. And it's so far out. It's right outside of it, and they finally grab it. But right into the hands of Vic. Just down to the last player. Loss. He might very well lose his life here.
12-4, but I don't think he can win this 1v4. The collapse from C9 comes in. He gets a pick, but it is big. Oxy getting
You know what's
that
crazy?
pick.
He had the reads.
I know,
He had the
right?
reads.
That's crazy. No, that was really nice coming in from C9. They were finally super proactive, but actually playing off of it, getting a lot of that information, and the crossfires onto B was really well played. I think now Jack, too, this was the round turner as well.
Huge
Jack,
round.
he's been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he's been one of the rookies coming into this team. Him on that initiator, still managing to put up numbers almost every single game that they play. And it's crazy because it'll be really interesting to see how they play, especially with this Yoru and this Raids. A lot of trap combos on that A lobby to make sure they get that space. But the Yoru, I want to see how this fits into it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is Melzer belongs on that stage. He's been here before, and it's just great to see him back again. Same thing with Taco. The work's been done. And speaking of the work, it's happening on the other side of the map there toward A. Chubizin's able to get that connection onto Zelsis, so that's going to be the IGL taking a lap for the second there, but this is going to prompt these players to have to just go a little bit further back. That paranoia pushes everyone away for the time being.
And one of the good things about playing Yoru is those fast rotates. You can see that TP and spawn already.
Ooh, wait a minute. I thought that they were going to get that opportunity. I thought that paranoia was going to connect onto the Cypher, and that actually did not happen. Jack and Fireball Ops, they don't have anything else. They have to get out of there. But wait a minute. Just as I say that, look at Fireball Ops. The birthday boy's looking to cause some problems here, but no cake for you today. Chubizin's taking it all for himself. And it's only going to be one player left standing, and that's Jack. And while Jack has been great, Athena, this is a tall task to ask for here. And dare I say, around that Cloud9 really needed, because you get these two, this pistol, you get the, the eco, and then at that point, you're able to really begin to build back into this game. You lose out here, that stings.
Yeah, you're really scared of the snowball, especially on this attack side where technically you're supposed to be able to get more rounds and being able to just ping pong as much as possible, put pressure on either side of the map. But Jack, he's going to try to go for these numbers, but all these players are collapsing.
They have no idea. But I think they have some semblance of an idea. Got to watch that doorway there. Okay, there you go. Now everyone knows. That Prime Vandal's nice and loud. There, Prime Vandal, you hear me? Prime Classic. In any case, so that's going to do it. I just started using it again, so, you know.
Oh, I see.
It's on the brain. That said, though, I mean, look, this is devastating, honestly, for Cloud9. They needed this round.
Yeah, they needed it. C9, they've struggled with their pistols recently. But this, that slide from Oxy.
That paranoia barely
slide.
missed him.
David standing in the perfect position to just skip out on that. But, I mean, Bestia, they got that pick towards that A main. Instantly they rotated. Yoru leaving that TP across the map. Loss actually staying towards A, and the second there was any pressure towards C, he TP'd. That's why the rotations were so fast, and I think this Yoru comp is slowly going to grow on me.
Yeah, I am liking how they are taking advantage of not just those win conditions for each particular agent, but also just how each one wants to play, how these people want to play this. But we're going fast now. Loss is able to stop one at the front door, but Oxy's going to hit him with a clothesline now. That's going to actually prompt a little bit of slowdown and some activity, as Oxy's going to be all by himself here, but he did manage to pick himself up a nice weapon. He's got to get out of there, though, and it ain't going to happen. He didn't have enough ammo left in that Bulldog and ended up paying for it.
Rest of the team here from C9 grouped up towards this A lobby, taking that B link into B. No players from Bestia here to counter, but they still have that numbers advantage. C9, they're going to have to go for something a little bit more aggressive just to keep that map control.
I'll see what this retake looks like for Bestia. Because at this point, you got all of C9. You got two players here. Jack and Zelsis favoring the A side of the map. Meanwhile, Vic's going to be dealing with the full might of these three players in a second.
But the problem is the spike isn't planned for them in that B link.
Oh, yes. Very good point there. Jack now weighing this one out. Trying to see if anyone's going to push in here. You got that one gun to work with. Someone's got to grab that gun and do something with it. And instead, it's going to be Jack now. He gets one. Player's going to be defusing on the spike. That's Melzer. Jack's got to get in there, try and stop him, but it ain't going to happen. David was ready for him, and that is going to lock up that second round in the second half for Bestia. And they're marching forward here to a potential victory if things keep going like this. But for Cloud9. I think, like, you know, now we get to see how this defense begins to look like.
Yeah.
Zelsis talked about how he wanted to cook on this map and how they wanted to get better at it over time. Now's the time to show what that work looks like.
Yeah, I feel like on attack, the thing I'm looking forward to the most from Zelsis is those lurk timings on that Viper. Being able to set his team up for success, him and Fireball Ops just being able to work that map together.
Yeah.
And so far, we haven't seen that much, but we see him towards that A side already. Bestia, though, they're looking to do some aggressive stuff towards this mound, fully playing close. Lost, not scared of anyone re-clearing him.
Yeah, that is a great insert there for him. He can get out of there if he needs to. He'll hang out for right now. He's good. Doesn't really have to worry about all that much.
Wow.
Zelsis, hello.
What a shot.
Clean. IGL on IGL action there. Leaders are going to go down. I knew that. I knew you enjoyed that. I was saving that one. I wrote that in a book.
Just for me? Thank you.
Two left here. Wait a minute. Taco, get three! Oh no!
way.
This has gone really, really bad. Just when you think that things are going to look good for C9 and they might be able to get this. No! Oh my God, it's Taco with 4. He could get himself the ace. Zelsis doesn't want to give this one to him, surely. He's going to back away. He's running over to the other side of the map. He's basically a Valorant 2 at this point. There's no reason for him to be facing Taco Leah on that C side, so instead they're going to rotate all the way around. It's a mad dash for the IGL.
Both players so low, but Zelsis, he still has this wall to play with. He has the ability and the utility.
Oh, and it's an ace!
God!
It's an ace for Taco Leah. Put your hands up, boy. You appreciate that moment. What an incredible play.
Taco just sitting in that corner, not getting cleared, but the Guardian shots are phenomenal, right to the dome every single time. Absolutely insane round from him.
Let's relive this in 4K. All right, there goes the first two.
Oh.
Oxy tried to get the third, and that fight was in normal circumstance good, but that Guardian is just too freaking good at that range.
Oh.
And Taco's too disgusting with it.
That peek over the mound was criminal.
And it came off of some wild heroics as well. You know that the mental has to be a little bit in the blender. And if it isn't, well, good on them. That means that they should be able to try and find something in this round here. But the pressure's starting to come through. Taco! Boom! No! He actually doesn't get it!
How did that miss?
I don't even know how. It felt like every single visual effect was on the player, but instead, it is going to be a done deal. 3v1. Locked up. David's done. C9 get the round that they needed, but I did not see it coming that way.
Crazy that that's the round that C9 won. They were fully blind. They weren't even seeing what was happening, but Taco just whiffing that showstopper, unfortunately for him. And this is going to be a nice round for C9. They get to turn that around, be able to buy a couple more weapons. Look at this. Oh, just went past him.
Brother, the slide right out as the pain shells formed. He would have gotten residual damage or something off of that. That's crazy.
Wait, GB, we have a solo op on Lost. The rest of the team getting sheriffs. This is going to be really important here, being able to set him up for success.
Yeah.
He's alone on that A site, but he's just going to be facing Zelsis alone.
And you can see where C9's looking to favor here. Might try and get some work done. I think he's going to be going for that orb too. So they'll go ahead, get that going, feed that one to Jack, so you can get that Nightfall back online eventually. Meanwhile, no real work has been done on the C9 side toward A, but remember, that op's over there.
Yeah, and they don't know that. That's the best part. They have no idea that Lost has this op online. This might be one of the winning conditions for Bestia, getting a pick, falling back, and being able to rotate off of that. But Lost actually giving up so much map control.
It's a little diabolical camera there.
Yeah.
Give him some mid-round info too, because you clearly saw two people right there. So that is a great indicator.
Really good pressure here from C9 as well. But the problem is Bestia, they're just stacked. They're not going to fall for it. 3 players on this C site. And you also have Chuizin outside of that B, ready to hit the door when they need it.
Well, it seems like the push is going to start to come in now. One gets identified to the side there. Dueling Paranoias are going to go out. Expend those. And we'll just peel this one back for the time being here. Meanwhile, business is being done over toward B site. Taco's needing to back away. No, that's just vicious. But I love the gumption there to just try and go for that. Meanwhile, Zelsis on the flank here. Might actually get one. Can't get the second. That is going to feed a gun to David, which is not an individual you want to give a gun to in this situation.
Yeah, if I'm Bestia here, if I'm not getting another pick, I'm saving that operator for the next round.
And the neural theft. Completely forgot about that, but Jack is cool with it. He gets 2. Leaves Chubizine and Lost, and while Lost does have that op, they're going to find out about it now. But does he even opt to go in there? That doesn't even really feel like that's going to be the case. And instead, Fireball's going to get a peek. So that's going to be Fireball just taking out the op that got absolutely no value out of the round. They just spent $5,000 and donated it.
That op was actually really necessary for that next round for Bestia.
I mean, that's just, they spent way too much money on that thing and got nothing.
And they've also given it to C9 now.
Yeah.
They're enabling a lot of those peaks able early in the round to get that long line. It is a nice charity there. These shots from Jack, kind of nasty, but C9, they're doing a good job at speeding up, then slowing down. Getting that information and just being able to execute off of it.
He just wanted a high five, guys. He was waiting for it.
I do that too every time I high five.
It's just like, ah.
Yeah, people don't ask me for high fives anymore.
That's fair. I stopped a while ago. Wait a minute, you're backing up. Oxy needs to be good with the op. He hasn't really seen much out of him with that weapon this game. So it's nice that he starts things off with a good kill onto the IGL Mauser. And then you have Loss. Let's not forget about him over toward the Bestia side. Does have that dimensional drift. So could look to maybe try and use that for the retake potentially. Yeah. But here comes C9 now.
But look at all this map space that Bestia have. They know that no players are here towards A, but the rotates are going to be a little bit slower. Only 2 players on the C side to be able to stop this execute.
And that's what I was going to say. I figured that it was going to go over to Zelsis, who gets the Viper pit.
Yeah, that's going to be their winning condition for the post plan as well, getting that pit down.
There it is. He gets activated now. Players are going to move over to the right side of the map. Lost, though, he's been so nasty this entire game. He gets himself 1 kill like it's nothing and then gets out of dodge. Spike, though, does manage to go down for C9.
The Spike's actually planted outside of the pit. Lost is going to get all that information with the Yoru ult.
He's actually tagging him and he's just shooting. He's just saying, hey, guys, shoot over here. And that's exactly how it worked out. But Jack, he gets his 1. It doesn't matter. That is a Bestia pickup yet again, and they look good. This is a scary position for C9, but an incredible confidence boost for Bestia, because I think everyone, except for Dryad, had written them off in this game.
Yoru being such a good counter pick for that Viper, being such a good counter pick as well for the Vice. It feels like the way that they're playing this Yoru here for Bestia has been phenomenal. It's countered a lot of C9's plays and a lot of their utility, and it's been one of the main reasons why they're getting that information to win the round. But now Lost, he gets that operator back online. He's able to get that deep line towards A, and 3 ults on the side of C9 here after spending that Viper's pit.
Yeah, I mean, you spent so much for that op the last time. Are you going to be able to use it this time around? Yeah. An absurd amount to just donate. So we'll see. As Oxy now, he's not going to give any speed. Wait a minute, though. He didn't watch the player. That was immediately to his left. Taco ends up getting the kill. That's going to stop that fast lane. That's going to stop that push. And then Loss, he gets the benefit. What a nasty shot onto Zelsis. This is all falling apart, Athena.
This is insane. 3 of these players from C9 grouping up towards Mound. They have nowhere else to go. No more map space, and they're going to run into this Cypher site.
And David's ready for it. He's wise to it, and he gets himself 1. 2 players left now. They don't have anyone on the other side of the map. This is it. They're committing to this C site. And Vic's going to have to get this one down. She will. But Fireball, he wanted to get that more forward position to try and see if he could pick up, but he does not. And instead, it's going to be all up to Vic here. Else this is the 12th for Bestia. Vic, he's going to get tagged. He gets bagged. And that is going to be the 12th round locked in for the Chilenos +1 Brazilian. Let's see if they can close this one out.
C9 falling into this trap that they fell into before, where they start sending Oxy alone onto a site. No one's able to trade him. No bodies close enough to be able to get any pressure or relieve any pressure from him. This was so unfortunate, not clearing that close angle, but also being alone. And this flick, look at this. Oh my,
it was like a whack-a-mole. It was like, hello. And then it just got
Is that the noise that whack-a-mole makes?
When I used to play back in the black and white days, that's typically how it was.
Yeah, because you're old. Going into this round, though, Lost. He still has that operator online. He changed it up a little bit because they actually have 4 players now towards this A site. I think they're a little bit worried about some sort of rush, some sort of eco rush. But C9 actually managing to get their economy online. They still have those rifles across the board. Not overextending, just lurking once again. Zelsis trying to get an insert.
And I like this too from Bestia, opening the door, just getting in the action, but Taco pushes through. They lose a player in the process, but the nade ends up getting a target, so 1 for 1.
The season nade combo getting in the value, but now the rest of C9 is speeding up onto the C side where David's not even there.
Yep, they're just going to wait for the retake, it seems. And they'll get this one for free. You got a couple opportunities here, and mostly it's going to be predicated on Chubizin's Nightfall, which he should be activating in a moment's notice.
Oh.
Meanwhile, oh, wait a minute. That's a kill that is going to be felt there. They're going to lose loss on this retake. That's going to hurt, but you got to go forward anyway. Chubizin's been good so far, but it doesn't matter. Now it's up to the IGL Melzer. He's going up against Jack and Fireball, the 2 good rifles on this team. Melzer has a chance to be the hero of the team. Shut the game down here and now. Win it 13-7. But he's got to deal with 2 of Cloud9's best and brightest. New voices on this roster. Is Melzer, find the angle, finds one, he can't get the second, Fireball's there, gets his third, and that's gonna push C9 forward, but man, that got nervous, that got dicey there for a minute.
I mean, C9, really good proactivity. They knew they had to use that Visal to get a lot of that map control pushing towards spawn. It was really well played and looked a little bit dire after this first couple kills. Loss actually holding an off angle that didn't work out for him. He didn't see Vic creeping up on his screen, and Fireball, of course, with the 3K. Yeah. Closing out the round for them.
That's the guy in that situation that you want, right?
The birthday boy.
The birthday boy, but you need him because he's been brought onto this team to be that consistent rifler for them, and he has been doing a brilliant job of that so far.
C9 actually playing all the way back because they're scared of that showstopper. They've seen Taco push forward.
Oh
and
no! Boom! Manages to get Oxy! That's dangerous! That's bad! That is going to be a big player that you lose out there, and now you got to drop one of those guns, pick up the op, and see if you can get something going here, and that is going to prompt some movement here for Bestia as well. They ain't gonna give him anything. They don't have to move anymore.
They're absolutely abusing Oxy, punishing him everywhere he's gone, and absolutely shutting him down. This is rough for C9. Their best player struggling against this.
Something I want to bring light to is, you know, in some of the last games that we saw from Oxy, I mean, this guy was pumping out 20+ kills per game. This time around, he's just been shut down.
But Chubizen is in this corner, gets cleared.
Melzer gets himself 3 kills from that exchange. Wait a minute, it's all coming down to the IGL. It's down to Zelsis. He gets himself the spike. He's got to go grab that thing, but he can't do it. He can't grab it. Not yet. He's got to lock in. He does manage, so he does secure that spike. He's waiting for that player to challenge through the door, and he's going to slow this one down.
A little bit scary because the 2 members of Bestia have split up. They're not in a crossfire.
No, they're not. If he gets this kill here, it's going to prompt it, but it's David. He's been good so far this series. A reliable hand here. You only got a couple seconds left. He's going to get one on there. Oh, he got him before he popped. Oh, no, he was able to pop the neural theft, but that is going to mean loss drops down. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with, and he doesn't. And that is it. As Bestia manage to lock down their first map win here on the VCT stage against Cloud9.
Well, it just makes the game a little bit easier.
It's going to be a tough one for sure. But for C9, this resilient team has met many challenges in the past. And so far, I mean, this season have managed to go through a lot of ups and downs. And surely the season does not end on their best map, on the map that has made them the talk of the town. But Loss seems like he's going to continue on his winning ways, pick up that first pick onto Oxy, of all people.
I mean, C9 doing this walk down mid play, it's something they've done on pistols before.
Yep, and you would think that this is going to work out for them, but instead, it's going to be all Bestia. Bestia have the reads. They have everything lined up that you could possibly ask for here. But it is going to be a 3v3. Who's going to be able to get the better of them on this one? It's Loss and Taco, the dueling duelists, working together to be able to take out 2 players there, leaving the IGL Zelsis all by his lonesome to have to do this. And typically, you'd have a little bit more to work with here in a 1v3, but no. This is going to be very tough. He's got a little bit of a healthy lead here, but instead it's just Taco, clean shots with the Ghost.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
a wrap.
Jack and Fireball trying to get that crossfire on site, but they were in such spread apart positions that 2v3 on site was almost impossible for them to delay. And again, I mean, this walk down mid here, it's something that C9 has done on multiples of their pistols, and I was kind of hoping they would come up with something new, because we talked a little bit about how they've lost a few of their pistols these last recent series. So I'm really hoping to see that creativity come out from them.
I think the thing that gives me a little bit of pause on this C9 loves Breeze narrative is just that, like, every time you ask the C9 guys, they're like, we don't really know, we just like the map, we're just good at the map. So I'm hoping that they figure out what makes them click, and this is the series for it to do it. But look at the fight that's happening out here, though. Lots of chaos as Elsis and Jack are able to get 2 kills of their own. That's going to leave things out into an even kill here, but you got Cloud9 beaten, battered, and bruised. Jack, he's only going to have 20 HP, and he's the last one standing.
For every click.
Jack, he's only going to have 20 HP, and he's the last one standing. He's going to run right into the loving hands of that Vandal, and the only one that has the Vandal is Lost, the worst person you want if you're C9 to hold this gun. He's going to hold this angle. Challenge me, I dare you! And that is the round. Beautifully done by Bestia.
What an absolute brawl coming in. C9 just full sending it through that Harbor Orb. And honestly, that was a really good round for them, because they've punished a lot of those weapons.
Yeah.
They're making sure that this bonus round coming in from Bestia is not going to be as strong. And now Bestia just playing back together, making sure they're holding for a lot of those instances. We saw it on Lotus, and playing passive towards this Breeze as well is going to work out for them.
One of the things that I was curious about when it came to how Bestia were going to play was their attack, because when we saw them play against Crew, they only really got like 4 rounds out. And they were clean rounds, don't get me wrong, but there weren't a lot. So this is showing us that Bestia, they got great ideas, and they're just not afraid to get scrappy and fight.
Yeah, C9 setting up for a nice mid-trap play. That Neon Stun was already used, but 3 players here, 2 from double doors. They're playing a little bit more retake towards that A site. Information, though, from that drone is going to see that Bestia's just defaulting at this point.
That camera certainly saved David there, because he was creeping up, and he had 2 players, both Jack and Oxy, in that angle. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, starting to see Bestia put some work in here. See if they could break through to this A.
Yeah, a lot of good pressure there on Elbow.
Opportunity now as Taco makes his way in with the fast lane. We've seen this setup before time and time again. They're going to try and chop up a little bit of this map. See if they can get this spike down now. It's exactly what Bestia does on the attack, and you would imagine that C9 would be wise to this one here, but Taco pushes through, and he's able to get that first blood onto Zelsis. He gets a second as well for his effort. Can someone please stop this man? Finally, it's going to come in the hands of Fireball Ops. And 2 players left alive, but they have no idea where David is. They have no idea where David is. Thankfully, Fireball Ops is wise to it. He's familiar with it. He knows where those lurkers could potentially push forward from. Oh, no! Oh, oh, that would have been bad. Oh, but you're good.
Wow.
You're good, C9 fans. You know, squeaky bum time there, but you're good. You're good. How devastating would that have been?
That would have been bad. But honestly, if I'm C9 in this position, that was still crazy expensive. That's our first gun round. And we only have the 1 Vandal left. Do we force into this next round?
Let's go.
Quick draw
Or
McGraw
do
over
we
there.
struggle?
Man, this guy was just, he lit them up.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, really nice there from...
One thing you can't argue with Bestia, the guns are hitting. The shots are hitting. Like, these guys are not missing the shots. Lost it in the last round. Taco with his ace prior. Melzer connecting so much. David and Chubizine have just been so reliable. And now, Lost is going right into this one here. He's like, hey, listen, someone wants to peek mid, I am ready.
Yeah, I mean, C9 has conditioned that mid fight every round now so far, and so he's trying to go for one of these peaks. Manages to tag or not really hit Vic, but the drone's going to come in, spot that. It's just Lost alone. 3 of these players set up towards Elbow. Looks like they're going to try to do some sort of B split, or at least set up for a B execute.
So much you have to go through here. But they do have Harbor ult to try and force back some of that activity, so expect that to maybe get activated here, and there it is. So it's going to force all those players to have to go back into this fight, thus opening up the bomb site here for C9 to be able to get inside, or excuse me, for Bestia to be able to get inside. Meanwhile, for Fireball Ops, that is a gorgeous camera that gave him a ton of information.
Wow.
What a shock dart is going to drop Lost there. And Fireball Ops, he's waiting for this one out. He knows he's got the help. He's got to go for this challenge around the corner, sacrifice his body on the line. And no, what is happening? Taco, finally, he's going to fall to the molly. Eventually, someone is going to handle him. 3v1 advantage, C9.
I know exactly.
Oh, well, turns out you didn't see that one.
What a beautiful sight hold there by Fireball and Jack. But now all of a sudden a 1v2, jump spawning just at the wrong moment. Spike is down. The clock is ticking.
He has no other choice. He's got to go for the shot here. He can actually do it, but wait a minute. No, that's it. It's done. And a smart play from Vic, too, to just not give himself up in that. He actually ran out of there the moment they realized the situation they were in.
Yeah, I think the most important part of that round was the way that Fireball and Jack were playing towards that backside, able to delay for so long. Fireball, he was alone, actually, majority of that round, just holding the off-eye angle, not over-peaking, and then Jack coming in with that shock. Super important to get that initial pick onto Taco, but then also just holding, using that dart, then swinging together with his teammate. That was really nice. And these are the small things that C9 tends to do really, really well when it comes to that defensive half.
Yeah, but now they're going to have to deal with two big ults here.
Yeah.
For both of the duelists. So first, it's going to be the knives out, and then you're going to hit him with the sizzle fingers.
This aggro play from mid, once again, from C9, but 4 players from Bestia trying to execute. Maybe not using more than enough than the knives, but they've actually popped both ults here for this Thrifty.
Fast lane gets activated now. They're going to try and force this fight over to the backside. They got to take out the player that's over here. That's the problem first and foremost here. But are the knives going to find the target? No, he whiffs all of them, and he doesn't find any mark. Although Chubizine does get a connection. It's unfortunately not going to be all that much, as that lead will be firmly on the side of C9. A couple of those big ults starting to fly through here. A clean removal from the site. And that is C9, basically, they just ran right into them there.
Yeah, I think Bestia, they struggled to get those picks using the knives, using the neon ult as well. Their winning condition was to fight forward, to play aggressive through that wall and be able to get some.
And hit the knives.
Hit the knives,
they didn't.
Get the picks, but the wall came down. They weren't able to get any of those picks, so the turnaround, the value just wasn't
And a different
there.
kind of like demand that's being asked of them there too, right? You're an eco. You got to make something happen in this situation.
I think one of their winning conditions on this roster, on this comp at least, is getting that operator online on Lost. And they haven't been able to snowball the economy to be able to get to that point. So they've just been shut down in that sense. But now C9, they have Vic with that harbor ult, able to retake and play a little bit more passive. And Oxy with that operator holding this crossfire towards mid.
Yeah, he's going to just play this one out, and he will get a target in a second here. Oh, he saw a gun. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Give it to him. That's one. Maybe another one, too. Actually, he's going to hit him with the fingies instead. And no, he does not get the third. And actually, Melzer is going to get the better of him in that exchange. That's going to force these two players to just play their angles here in the back. They're not going to do a little too much now in C9.
Bestia slowing this round down, able to use that operator to try to get a pick here on Melzer. He has that spike towards mid doors, but C9 doing a good job at not giving them any of this.
Melzer, one of the 3 ops on this team. At any point in time, they'll rotate it between Loss, Taco, Melzer. It's one of their advantages that they have so many.
For every click,
advantages that they have so many options. How the hell did that happen? Didn't see where that one came from. Okay, that worked out great for Bestia. They're going to get themselves on to the site, put that spike down. A lot of pressure here on to Takolia. He's got to bail out of this one, get back to his teammate, work with him. There goes the harbor ult on the other side, and it's Zelsis connecting onto Taco, who's rotating toward Chubizine. You can see where that spike is located. Zelsis, the reads are there, and really at this point now, it's just a matter of just surrounding where this guy is. Chubizine handling business. And off of that timeout, you would hope to see something a little bit different out of this Bestia lineup there, Athena, but instead it's another C9 win.
Yeah, they're just trying to go for that split, but they weren't expecting Oxy to be set up towards that mid doors. No. They didn't really have the util either. I think they're planning on droning there, but the stun came in early. The pick on Lost by Oxy as well. Just seeing that barrel was so important. This one right here, and the trades just weren't there either. Oxy with a phenomenal neon stun to actually get both those players, so there was no follow-up.
Oh, that was that kill.
And Taco just trying to go aggressive. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, but I'm really looking at Zelsis here because he has that Viper's Pit. So far, his lurks, his rotations on this defense side has been really nice. And they've been known to use this Viper's Pit on those retakes, making sure they're able to hold that site down. But he's not going to use it early. Op v Op, though. Loss and Oxy.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about wanting to see Bestia get those ops online, and here we go. Opportunity here for Loss. Meanwhile, as we kind of see what the rest of Bestia are looking to inch out toward, feels like that A site is what they want to favor.
Yeah,
they will be running right into that Viper.
They've been setting up that Cypher cam towards Elbow every round and not really getting punished or not getting any value out of it because C9, again, so disciplined, just holding back. Feels like they can't catch them on this mid aggression, but they're actually going to go towards this A site where Zelsis has that Viper's Pit to delay for so long.
Yeah.
Melzer with the Hunter's Fury, though, for the post plant.
Well, curious what he does here. I think if he gets at least one, he'll go for the activation, but he's going to back away out of this. He needs some help ASAP. Vic is there to back him up. Hunter's Fury is going to get activated in turn, and you got Taco just all up in the business of C9. Back sight, and he's handling it. Now Oxy, with that op, he's going to get revealed, and he cannot find a connection onto David, who just activated that neural theft. So they know exactly where these three players are going to be located. And Bestia, wise enough, are going to back away. Spike is going to be planned for them too. They have a little bit of an angle to work with now. Lot on Takolia here. Does he get this kill? Sees one behind the double stack box. Can't get this first, but his teammate's there to back him up. Just as I say that, it's down now to Fireball Ops. What can the birthday boy do? No, he can't do anything as David will get the better from his Sentinel compatriot. He'll take him out there, and that is just going to be a much desperately needed round from Bestia, Athena.
This was really good. The util usage to get that scan onto Vic with the timing of the aggression onto site was beautiful from Bestia. Vic had the chance to either swing and help his teammate Zelsis fight for that back site or to break that dart. Obviously, he chose that first option, getting that initial pick, but was unable to get more than that. But we're still looking at Zelsis here with this pit to put it down towards this B main. Lots of really good info, good positioning as well. And then Oxy.
It speaks really well, Athena, of C9 that they went into that last round with the pit. Did it really need to spend it? Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know, they gave up a round, but at the end of the day, right, they're going to be able to set up for this next one, and they're thinking a couple steps ahead, which is huge for them.
Yeah, and look at this map control. Once again, Oxy pushed all the way down mid, has this cross. He's a little bit scared of Elbow, but all four players from Bestia on this A side again. It seems like in that timeout, they were like, just go A, just keep hitting A.
I think they felt like there was a weakness there that they can exploit. But in turn, it ended up being C9 with some good adjustments. And Taco, he just is so good at picking up one random kill that will just change the complexion of a round.
Yeah, getting the pick onto that anchor there is so important. And here, re-aggression from C9 to try to find this lurker towards mid.
David has a lot of work to do here. First Vic, and then he's going to deal with these other players, but he's hearing it, and he knows. Now, you heard at the very least 2 footsteps that were going to be moving around, clanging and banging over there on that mid side of the map. So that is going to give at least some indication, hey, focus mid, be ready for this mid push. You got 3 players now starting to make their way through there. Zelsis on the flank as well. They're going to try and chop up the site here, C9, as they have done before with that retake, but Takolia inserts himself in a great spot. Vic is there for the punish, though. Takes him out, handles business. Meanwhile, Chubizine, he's been lights out so far this series, but no! No one was there to stop the defuse, and even though they get the kills, it would all be for naught because they don't get the round.
A little bit of a messy post plant from Bestia, unable to get past that wall and help Taco on site, thinking that that Harbor Molly was going to be enough to get them off that defuse, but it did not work. That first initial pick was rough. I really like the proactivity, though, from C9. Walking towards mid, knowing that there's a lurker out there somewhere, equalizing those numbers. They really enabled this round to win for them. That's kind of what I was talking about, GB, with the double controller. Is that wall, being able to retake, having a lot of that util that's very cyclable to get onto site.
So much vision blocking that it just creates that where are they moment in the mind, you second guess, and then from there you strike. And so far, C9, they have been striking well. They get themselves 5 rounds.
Bestia have been conditioning this elbow take as well, but now all 4 players, all 5 players towards the site about to execute.
Big push starting to come in here, right from the mid side of the map here, or rather mid side of B. Surrounded now is going to be Bestia all around C9, and they're getting the kills. But just as I say that, Zelsis, he tries to squeak one out for himself. It does not work out. Meanwhile, on the flank, look at where David is. He just has this thing wrapped up. If anyone tries to move around the map, he will punish them just like that. Vic knows now he's going to have to handle this player before he tries to move forward. And if he does not, it will be all for naught. And it doesn't freaking matter because David is there yet again, clean as hell.
Bestia, really nice to show that they've put that pressure towards A 3 rounds in a row. They've taken elbow for free almost every single time as well. They've conditioned it so they know now they can go towards that elbow. They can go towards that B site. They're going to have more reinforcements towards A, and it played out really well for the team of Bestia. Now we're looking at them working this map a little bit more, conditioning a lot. They have that op online on loss, still able to get a lot of those picks, forcing C9 on this Thrifty.
Yep, and that will prompt some movement over here toward the mid, which, as we heard previously, has been an area that this Bestia team did a good job of just making sure that they get presence there. As it stands, though, it will be just a slow start because at this point, Bestia, they don't need to give anything to C9. The onus is on C9 to have to make something happen here in this particular round.
Yeah, I mean, why would they? C9 have been so aggressive on their Thrifties now. They're just holding back, clearing and taking it slow, not being scared to use that util just so they don't get caught off guard. 2 players on the side of C9, though, walked all the way down elbow. That Harbor Cove going to give some sort of information.
They know
you immediately see all 4 players of Bestia move
for every click, every clutch
towards that A site.
They know he's here by himself, and they want to take him out. They want to handle this one, but Melzer's there to back his teammate up. He gets the shot loss. Is he not going to save it? No way! Oh, he just good try, buddy. I give you all the credit in the world, but you wanted to get this dude out of the window. It ain't going to happen, bro. No, okay, let's relax there for a minute, Papa. You don't want to hit that one up top. Oh, my God. That's another beautiful shot there. Yeah, it's an eco, but I want to enjoy every minute of it. This guy has been just lights out with the snipe. It has been nonstop. He's also been good with the rifle. He's been good in every instance they could ask of him.
It feels like Losser is just going absolute beast mode with that operator.
Crazy.
Not even needing that much help. Melzer getting that shot from all the way in spawn and falling back to help his team go towards that A site. Being able to hold his own for so long is actually phenomenal.
That's 4.
4 kills. We love the eco frags for him, but it was just crazy to see how far.
Put so many bodies to get him.
Yeah.
Because they knew, like, hey, this guy's by himself. So if we could get this up, that'd be sick. Let's just go ahead and do that.
I think that punish was really nice. It feels like they knew that something like that was going to happen from that round from C9.
Fireball in his face. I know, brother. I know. That's a frustrating one to die from.
If I'm C9, though, I'm taking attack here because I need to talk about this gun round. Make sure that we're really investing into it, knowing how to use...
Or just on that flank in general, but hasn't really been the case here today, at least for Oxy.
Yeah, we're seeing them actually change up C9, their default setup on the defensive side, setting Oxy up towards that mid doors again. It's where they found success, but they're going to meet a fast-splitting Bestia.
Here we go. Taco's now trying to get into the action as fast as he possibly could. The stun, the fast lane's going to get activated. Oxy wants to get into the fight here, but he won't be able to find much. He does get some intel, though. And that's just going to chop up that. They lose out on the wall, too. So they spend a whole bunch of things for a whole lot of nothing.
Bestia slowing down, pivoting. They did this so well on that first map of Lotus. Denying the information, getting caught in that mid, but they're just going to hold and commit to this B split, it seems.
Could very well be the case. There goes the chop up. So goodbye. You're out of the fight here, Jack. Maybe you could try again later. And there goes the wall as well. So just to try and give C9 a little bit of something to work with now. Taco gets that slide in there, could potentially cause a problem, but they want to watch out on this cross. Melzer is able to pick up Zelsis on the side. That recon could be devastating if they're not careful, because that's going to give at least a little bit of intel as to where these players are going to be located. And here comes the flank and the retake opportunity for C9.
C9, they have that Harbor ult to retake with. It's going to be really integral into this round.
Ooh, but loss yet again is there. And that was another one that they would have liked, that neural theft to be able to work with. Hey, you want to have that Harbor ult to retake this one? Not going to happen today. It's just Jacket. Shut up, C! Oh, wow. My God! Please, somebody stop this man. Please.
Wow.
He was on the academy team? Deadass, he was on the academy team? That's crazy. This guy's having a field day out there.
He is. Not only are they shutting down Oxy as a team, Lost is just shutting down the rest of the team as well.
Ooh.
Being able to get so many of these beautiful picks, it feels like this is the main reason that they're winning out on a lot of these rounds.
I want to be him when I grow up.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Look how cool he is. See how cool he is, Athena? You got to be cool in those moments. This guy's unbelievable.
Another mid default here for Bestia. Trying to just chill, set up that Lost operator to get some sort of pick. Jack using this drone really early. Going back to that last round though, GB, I was looking at C9 to be able to flood. There were 4 players ready there to help Zelsis, but they just hesitated. They struggled and could not come out onto site.
Crazy was just the chop up of the site with the harbor, and that was all you needed.
It was enough to get them to hesitate. And C9, they've always been this team that's been so good when it comes to groups, almost always making that playoffs whenever they need to. And now they're in this situation where it's a little bit scary.
Well, C9, they need this round. They need this round like a fish needs water. Because if they don't get this, this could be really problematic for them going 7-5. This was pretty much what happened to them on Lotus. But so far, so good. Things start out great for Oxy. The point man's getting in there. He's trying to get in the action. He's got himself a good gun to be able to work with as well, but he does not have the health to be able to fight this one out. Might just go and say screw it and pop it for the retake for the, you know, hit him with the sizzles.
Yeah, that was a really good pick too from Oxy because it enabled the neural theft from Fireball to be able to get all that information. But 3 players heading towards this B side. Zels is in such a good spot.
He's got it, and he gets the tag. Looks for one. Oh, but right around the corner, shotty to body. He's able to get the connect. Spike down. Now it's up to Chubizine here. He's got David rounding out the rear, but he's going to get isolated, and he gets destroyed. Nothing he could do there. It boils down to David. There goes the Hunter's Fury. They're just shooting it all right now. Where is this guy? Zap him. Blast him with a bow and arrow. Shoot him with a gun. Hit him with a knife. I don't know. Throw the kitchen sink at him, but you can't do it because he's too damn good. Oh my God! What in the world? David! David! Brother! Wrap it up! Zip it up! Are you kidding me?
Are you serious? 1 HP on him.
That's an ace in a Red Bull clutch and a Secret Labs God knows what and a Verizon whoever the hell. Like, it's unreal. I cannot believe that he just pulled off that load of crap. And that was beautiful.
What an insane way to end the half.
Holy moly, a tough situation.
The scoreline is one thing, but the more important one is Oxy, 6-12 here. He's been absolutely shut down this whole game. I'm really looking at him to step up on this attack half. It's where he's been shining the most. And I think if they want to get that birthday present over to Fireball Ops, they need to lock in and get this pistol.
Yeah, pressure's on here for sure. And here we go. Normal as always, just making their way in, using that Viper wall to just give themselves something to work with now. It's going to have to prompt Lost to just go back. He's good for this. No one's really going to put much pressure on him here. And it is insane how Lost just plays with such confidence in these moments. He can just back up, knows that his team is going to come through and have his back.
But now they have the cyclable utility on that Viper wall. They're pausing on the side of C9, knowing that they don't have to plant right away. But it's looking a little bit more like hesitation at this point. 4 players on the side of A, able to take that backside fight if they want to.
Okay, the shielding goes out for the Cove wall, and the C9 able to get 2.
The impossible doesn't.
Able to get 2. Chubizine around the corner, thought he could maybe even the odds, but it does not work out in his favor. And it's all left up to Melzer, the veteran, to try and bring this one home. Listen, I'm not going to count anyone out because we literally just watched an ace happen at the last second. So Melzer could do anything here. He gets himself 1. The C9 team needs to be careful. There's some time to work with now. But he gets through to that smoke, and that is enough. And this is Cloud9 back on the board. And Athena, this round was the most pivotal round for them.
Oh yeah, they needed this. They need to equalize the round numbers, being able to get back into that position where they're actually ahead. They essentially have this next round, the anti-thrifty to make sure that they win, followed by that bonus. But actually C9 holding and stopping I want to talk about that last round really quick. Pausing on site was really pivotal. They know that the second that that spike is planted, or at least tapped, Bestia is going to do something crazy. So they set themselves up for success by changing their positioning.
Yeah, they read that one out well, and that came with, you can only assume a lot of prep, because that's what we were seeing as well. So it makes sense that they would try and just wait this one out. Bestia kind of just fell right into their hand. And now let's see how C9 build off of this, because just because it's an eco for Bestia doesn't mean that they're safe.
Yeah, 100%.
C9 safe, rather.
Yeah, 100%. We see that. And now just slow, trying to get information. Jack using that drone, fireball, walking up with it, is going to not get into sight, getting punished immediately. But that moves the rotates to A.
Ooh, Melzer, you sneaky, sneaky boy! And he doesn't get anything out of that, but still, I like the idea. And that is going to be an open A site here for Cloud9. But when you got to make a play happen in the moment, I respect Melzer going for that sneaky.
I mean, the re-aggression from Bestia to push down that elbow, getting the pick actually all the way down into spawn is going to be phenomenal. 4v3 now. They have the numbers.
Yeah, good note on that one. Here comes a push through. It's lost. Wait a minute. Oxy, he's not watching his right. Okay, so he's paying really close attention to what's happening in that tunnel, but he's got to wait this one out. Loss is going to make his way in. They were just waiting. Oh, man! The retake is as clean as it could possibly be. We were literally just talking about this. We were like, oh, well, you know, watch out, because it's a classic, and they might be able to make this one happen. And they did. Unreal.
Absolute insanity.
I can't believe it.
Bestia, they're just doing such a good job of capitalizing on those solo plays. C9 sending Fireball alone out onto site. Yes, they're trying to scout. Yes, they're trying to see if there's a stack. But we're so split up across the map. We gave them ones. That was not clean.
Look at all of these fights.
Yeah.
Every one of these fights was just something that was forced into a one, that was meant to just be more of like something that the team could probably work together, but instead Bestia just threw off their momentum.
And now C9, hero buying 2 rifles, knowing that they need to trade something back. They're still able to buy the next round off of those, but Oxy is looking to get a pick here, walking up towards elbow. They're setting themselves up for a B split, especially with that Viper and Harbor Wall still ready to go.
And I've seen this play before with Bestia pushed out toward that double door, and the info that they're getting here on the A side as well, it's pretty much just telling them everything that they need to know. And you can see the response here from Melzer and from David. They're so ready for it. It just read them open like a book.
Crazy, because Bestia, they pushed all the way down A. They had that information ready. And now with the numbers not overextending past that wall, holding, and just delaying long enough for these rotates to come in.
And surely they're going to know, hey, wait a minute. Neon's not around here.
Ooh,
got to find him eventually, but that lost pick could be helpful for them. See what they opt to do with it. Watch out, though, on the flank. Here he comes. That's Taco for one. And now the push shoot begins. Fast lane activated. Zelsis, he's weighing this one out. He was expecting some speed, but instead it's actually going to come in the hands of a big kill from Taco, and Chubizine gets his. And that will be Bestia adding on to the board little by little, Athena. This is happening.
All of a sudden, the gap is getting bigger between these teams. The gap.
Problematic.
Yes. 9-6. This is crazy.
If you're a C9 fan, this is bad. If you're a Bestia fan, you are screaming at your TV right now.
Absolutely. It feels like Bestia have just done such a good job with a lot of their anteing, understanding how that C9 is going to move around the map and shutting it down. I'm really looking this round specifically. Taco has that Neon ult. He's able to speed up should they need to on that defensive side. But a small default coming in from C9. A nice 1-3-1, trying to get information, trying to see if there's any aggression from the side of Bestia, and hopefully end on an execute together.
I actually quite like the way that they opted to play that in the mid there, Bestia. Put that smoke down, just try and create some confusion.
And Celsius actually holding that A main, but leaves at such a weird timing. Loss is pushed all the way up. They have all the information now. 3 players set up towards this B site. This is going to be really hard for C9 to push off when they don't have any A main presence.
Yeah, and if they want to pivot over to that, you know, they're going to be dealing with a tripwire and then running right into the hands of Melzer. But it seems like B is where we're favoring, and just look at the way that this is stacked up. Now, your options here, Athena, what are you looking to do?
I mean, if you're Taco, just trying to hope that they don't hard clear you, able to get a spot, stunning that fast lane, and now they're out.
Oh, Taco now, he's going to have to deal with a lot of activity, and it's Oxy. Gets the better of his Neon mirror. Meanwhile, David goes in for a drop, but Oxy, he's trying to get this team back into this one here, and he does so with 3 clean kills that gets him onto the site.
Bestia having 3 players there, but unable to hold. Oxy doing a phenomenal job running up, clearing every single angle, and isolating a lot of those picks.
And that's pretty much going to be the round here. You know, look for Melzer and Lost to try and maybe catch some stragglers if they go their way, but you got to protect that op. You're in a great spot right now if you're Bestia. And for C9 on the other side, this was we keep talking about these pivotal rounds. This was definitely one of them because you cannot let them go to double digits at this point. It would be too scary.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm C9, I'm looking at this round and thinking, okay, we need to stick together.
Yeah.
After that initial default, we need to group up because every single time that we're spreading across the map, we're actually giving Bestia the picks that we're not trying to give them. We're losing those numbers, unable to have a really strong attack, unable to just get onto the site and post plant. And I think that's where they find a lot of their success. And now going into this next round, Oxy, he still has that Neon ult online. He's able to get a lot of space should he need to, and they're able to do something fast. And the side of Bestia, they kept that operator, but it's important what they do with it.
Big round. C9 at this point, backs against the wall. You're down 1-0 in this series. Your season's on the line. And you got to get past this first test in Bestia if you even want an opportunity to go to playoffs, let alone champions. Same for Bestia. But the tier 2 team, well, if anything, less pressure on them than on C9.
100%. They're the underdogs here. But taking mid control, Bestia, they have set up Lost, ready with that operator to get a pick. And Taco, he's in top mid, ready to swing off of any of that elbow control.
Not going to get what
The impossible.
not going to get what he wants there. So instead, he's just going to hold this one out. Meanwhile, C9 continuing to just see if they could work this A site, give themselves something to work with. I like this play from Fireball. He's hoping to see if anyone tries to get a little ambitious. And that cam is going to back him up, but not really going to do with all that much there. That being said, it's important to bear in mind that he's on that flank. So he will be able to catch them if the timing is right. Meanwhile, C9 get on. So they're here. They're chilling on A. Got to get this spike down. Bestia throwing all the utility they can to suss out where these players are going to be located. Oxy with the activation of the Neon ult. Able to get himself 2. Is able to get himself 4. Scratch that. Where's the last target? Give him the ace. He knows where he is. No, wait a minute. Chubizine's clutching it out. This is a similar situation to what we saw before. Chubizine, no, Jack. Backs his teammates up, excuse me. And he keeps this one going for C9. But you really do need to be mindful in those like 1v moments of these Bestia players. They will get those multi-kills. If you just give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yeah, just a tiny bit sloppy in terms of positioning, in terms of the awareness of what everyone's looking at. And you can only blame chaotic comms when it comes to something like that. But C9, they need to be following this through.
Good job, boys. Good job. Come on.
A lot of these executes, supporting Oxy with the util, using a lot of that util to bait out. The rifles are back on the board. Lost with that operator one more time, but he's actually changed up his positioning to be towards mid, and it might just not work out because all of C9 here is outside of the same main.
Stacked over here.
Standing ahead.
Well, they'll just actually won't get hit with anything. And that might actually indicate that they could push up a little bit more, but I think it did give Taco a little bit of pause. He was like, wait a minute, there's way too many people up here. And it's actually going to be a really smart play from Cloud9. Now it's Melzer. He's right outside. Surely they checked the corner. They saw something felt fishy. They took care of that target. 3v5. As Bestia, they really do not have much to work with. You could see where that op is moving toward. David as well moving out of this one. I think they're pretty much conceding that this is going to be a GG on this round.
Yeah, definitely going for that save. Really hard to win a round like that when the post plant is in full play. Zelsis is going to go hunting, though. They do have the economy for it. Trying to get a pick onto any of those players. But Bestia, they're struggling. The reads are just wrong. It feels like C9 has been one step ahead the past 3 rounds now.
Especially that one.
Yeah, knowing where that operator is going to be, droning, seeing that there's no one there, and full committing to these splits or to these executes, it's been paying off really well for them.
I think that for Bestia, it might be beneficial for them. And even though I feel like the idea is, hey, listen, get that up onto the jet, do what you got to do there, and they preserve that gun, I believe. Yes, they do. The thing that helps Bestia is that they're able to move that operator around to a lot of different players. They can put that operator in Taco's hands. They could put it in the hands of Melzer as well. So I kind of want to see them just try and like get C9 guessing and throw them off, because right now and actually I was actually just saying that Taco's got himself the op, so they're going to put that big boy gun in his hand, see if he can win the round.
I really want to see this operator played more on sites. They keep playing it towards mid. The rotates haven't been quick enough. And they've also been abused because the op isn't there to get those initial picks whenever C9 have executed. And another execute onto this B, using that harbor wall to deny any players on site. And you can see all that util to clear the site completely off.
Oh, but David is going to get his. That's one target, and that's one too many, if anything, given that the economy is a little bit in shambles here for Bestia, but you're still able to get something with the Sheriff. Taco now, all eyes on him. He should be able to do something with that op, and he does so off cam. Lost gets one with the shotgun right to the back, just buries the barrel in the face of Vic, and that leaves Zelsis, LMS, and with not a lot of hope. That wall's coming down, and Melzer gets his hit. And that will be 10 for Bestia. A big, big round for those boys.
A thrifty from Bestia to win out that round. They had the operator, but everyone else was on those pistols, just sitting on site, making sure that they're playing together. This pick was phenomenal. I feel like, David, we really need to shout out his Cypher util.
Yeah.
Those trips being placed in spots that Oxy hasn't been able to shut down or see right off the bat. This happened on Lotus, where Oxy was shut down because he was running through elbow, unable to see that trip. And once again, on this B site, he's been playing really well. The anchoring has been phenomenal. And all of a sudden, we're in this gun round with an operator online for Bestia. 2 ults with that Hunter's Fury, with the Neural Theft.
And they haven't seen this mid look yet here, so they might not be ready for it, and they definitely were not. Taco gets Oxy, and that is going to shut down their big, big win con to get into the site.
Yeah, and for C9, they're going to be struggling. Lost actually getting another pick onto Zelsis here. That Hunter's Fury not going to connect, and all of a sudden, the round is crumbling for C9.
This is all falling apart. Taco, if he gets anything, and there goes Hunter's Fury, activated now for Melzer, just checking all the areas you need to check. You're also going to just get that info, forcing those players back. And this is a very good situation for Bestia to be in, and that's why C9's like, nope, we don't want to do this. But if you are C9, you're at least like, hey, we kind of got them to spend a little bit in this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the round that Bestia really needed, knowing that they had to be proactive, pushing towards mid. Actually spending that utility to be able to get those initial picks was the most important part. They also managed to gamble right with that operator getting those, but Taco, he's already rotated all the way to this B site.
Loss there again. Just constantly being the thorn on the side of Cloud9. What does Fireball do? He does nothing, because David's had his number as well in that Sentinel battle, specifically in the Cypher role. He's had the better of Fireball, who has been immaculate this season when he has made his debut for C9. But it is David's day. And so far, every single time that man has a target, he gets the shot. That is the round. That's Bestia's 11th. They're 2 rounds away from eliminating Cloud9 here at Play-ins.
This is absolutely insane. Again, looking at C9's map history on this Breeze, it's been so good. They've been winning this map almost every single time. This stage, they've been phenomenal on it. 4 wins, only losing it that one time. And now they're just struggling. Taco with this beautiful initial pick. That could have been a collat, but that was one of the main reasons why they turned this round around. Of course, David with that lurk pick, and it just feels like C9 once again is struggling. Their winning condition that round was getting onto site. The game was genuinely just the nerves, but now looking at
For every click.
we have those ults. We have 2 players, 2 of those duelists towards that A, ready to use that operator and push and get this aggression on the line.
They're going to do it. They're going to go right for this one here. Stuns out. Wait, this one? Nothing? You don't see what you like here? Oh, dear heavens! Oh, he gets 3. Go back for more, Papa. Take what you need. But instead, wait a minute. It's C9. Oxy just decides, you know what? Screw the sniper. I'm going to make my way right into this site and get this business done. But he's got to do a lot of work back here, and he can't do it. Melzer's there for the stop. It's left down to Fireball Ops. Poor thing. He's got to do so much. But we have seen Bestia pull off things like this in the past, and we know that Fireball Ops can do the same. Problem is, he's dealing with so much utility. Down now to 35 HP. Nothing to work with. No hope. But he's got to pull and dig deep. And it's Melzer who just ends it then and now. And that is 12. We're right there, folks. Bestia could eliminate Cloud9 here at Play-Ins. Wow. That's awesome.
That is the worst way to come out of a timeout here for C9. They were not expecting that aggression. Lost, playing absolutely phenomenally. There's nothing you can do
and
to
I give
shut that
Oxy
down.
credit for just trying to do something, because you're like, yo, listen, we're here, we're stopped, I can go fast, I need to do something.
Trying to get those numbers, trying to use that util to stun and catch someone off guard.
This is
and
it.
all of a sudden,
I must wait a moment.
it's so close now here for Bestia. They can taste it. Aggression again on the line.
They're doing it again, but this time they're going to get out of there, and Taco gets tagged up a little bit. He's actually going to use that fast lane. They don't really get a lot of info for that either.
They know that the aggression is the key, because once C9 get on site, they have that Viper's Pit to post-plant.
Missed the shot there. That's a rare whiff for loss. Melzer's going to go down 2. C9 might actually finally be able to use that Viper's Pit. Look at that, and they get it onto the site. But is it going to be enough? David and Chubizine are alive, and my God, they have pulled off some miracles in the past.
C9 with a really nice switch up to actually fight through that Viper wall on the left side, punish those rotations in from the mid doors versus fighting that bike side. It hasn't been successful for them, so they focused more towards that mid doors. Nicely well played, and now this round's going to go towards the way of C9. They needed this so desperately. They needed to shut down that momentum from Bestia, and they need to make sure they push that throughout the next 2 rounds.
And credit is due to Bestia, specifically Taco, doing that same play again, trying to just get in that face, trying to like cause a problem, because they saw how well it worked when you fluster C9. But that is where C9, I think, like, you start to see that experience come in. Zelsa is saying, like, wait for this aggression to come in. They're going to try and end this game here now. So let's not allow that. I will say, if Lost gets that snipe, though, it kind of changes the complexion of the round a touch.
Just a little bit. But, I mean, I think here, again, this fight towards that left side of site was really nice. Bestia trying to flood in, trying to support, but actually getting caught off guard. And now looking forward into this match, Vic, he has that harbor ult. They're looking to do some aiming aggression once again. Not scared of the aggression that Bestia has been pushing towards that A lobby.
Good thing with A main aggression, you want to handle that? Put a Sentinel there, and Cypher will slow things down. Chubizine, though, has a read. He's got help. He's another one. Oh, no! Oh, no! This is bad! This is going to have to force C9 to have to make a move somehow, some way. And it's going to prompt all of Bestia to go to the backside here, Athena.
Bestia has been conditioning that A-main push that they were not expecting the contact play down elbow. And now that harbor wall coming in, the harbor wall to delay. It's going to be so many fights here.
It's now enough down to Oxy. He was a hero before. Is he going to be a hero again? No, he's not! And that's going to do it! Bestia, try as you might. You thought C9 were the main character. Step aside, because it's Bestia's